Help spread love and feel the joy of giving back. During the 2023 Subaru Share the Love event at Beardmore Subaru, Subaru will donate $250 to the charity of your choice for every new Subaru purchased or leased. The ASPCA, Make-A-Wish, Meals on Wheels, the National Park Foundation, the Housing Foundation of Sarpy County, or Offutt Air Force Base's Airman's Attic. Plus, we will give an additional $100 locally to help even more. Go to BeardmoreSubaru.com to learn more. Submit charity selection by 1/12/24. Promotion ends 1/2/24. See Subaru.com for more details.
Hey guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun too. It's a thing. And now the truth is out there. I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun. Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free anytime, anywhere. And each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Hey, and welcome to the Paranormal Podcast. This is Matt Harvey.
And Amanda Harvey.
Amanda's just off camera. So tonight we're going to be talking about the Olde Park Hotel. As you guys have seen on Facebook and a few other places, we've been posting that we're going to be there later this week to do an investigation. And so we wanted to come on and do a special podcast kind of before the investigation and share with you guys some of the stuff that we've learned research-wise and talk about the history, a little bit of the history, talk about a little bit of the reports, and there's quite a few spirits that are said to haunt these locations, and we'll talk about them a little bit too. Amanda's not heard this, so I'm going to go through and kind of give her a briefing as well. And so if you guys join us on the live stream, you might understand the names that we're talking about or what we're talking about history-wise and stuff like that. So if you're on our Facebook page, you can go there and you'll be able to watch the show live for probably about an hour, from probably about 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. if we're set up by then. We might even do a YouTube live event as well. So anyways, without further ado, let's talk about the Olde Park Hotel. So the history. This place is it's pretty old. The original two-story building that was there was built in June 29th, 1886. So this is probably one of the older buildings that we've ever been into. It was actually built and brought into town. They don't know if it was built somewhere else. And maybe the house was a little bit older, or if it was just built in town. There wasn't very much around when it was originally built. Back in the 1880s, if you had a home, you were pretty well off. If you had a two-story home, you were probably somebody of power of some sort. You had a lot of money. So back in 1905, the Ballinger area flooded, and it took out all the historical records, which is pretty common for Texas. It seems like a lot of the stuff that happens, whenever you go to look for any kind of historical information, there's either been a fire, a flood, or the files are lost. So back in the 1910, of course, there was Prohibition. The family that actually owned this place from about 1886 to about 1922 was named the Seacrest family. And they owned it for a long time. As they owned it, it became the Park Hotel all the way up to about the 1920s. It was also named the Royal Hotel for 10 to 15 years. And then in 2016, the Lefovs bought the property, and they are currently the owner. What I really like about them is, number one, they're paranormal researchers. They do ghost investigations and stuff at the hotel. So they know what they're doing. They know the history. They know exactly what's going on. And so I think they're going to be a wealth of knowledge when we get there. And we're very much looking forward to talking with Dan and just picking his brain about everything that's been going on. There's so many reports. It's not even funny. I'd be here for 2 or 3 hours. And I'm sure Dan could even talk about this even more. But So, anyways, getting back to the history, it's been a cowboy house, a restaurant, a school, a brothel a couple of times. It was a poker and boarding house for a while, and then it became a music and antique store. So it's got a lot of history. The building's had a lot of different things, a lot of different energy in and out, and stuff like that. So this is where we get into the interesting parts. Let's talk about the reports.
Okay.
So lots of EVPs have been caught there.
Who's catching the EVPs?
So I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos and just, little FOBs, and then other groups have been in as well to investigate the location, which is a good thing for us. Because when other teams have been in there, I think if you have an intelligent haunt, and it's been proven to us before, those spirits pick up on what's going on, and they figure out what you're trying to do, and they will hopefully be more likely to communicate with you.
So you're anticipating more activity.
Yeah, I'm anticipating more activity. With all the reports I've heard and all the crazy things I've heard about this place, I almost wonder if it's sitting on some kind of energy source or something to have that as many, to be able, for the spirits to be able to do what they do. It just, there must be some kind of energy source. Maybe
really check around with their EMF detectors.
Right. We're gonna hit the place real hard with the EMF detectors. This place is 10,000 square feet.
That's a lot for
It's
6
huge.
people.
Well, we'll have 3 teams. The idea is right now we have 2 couples going, and we might have a third couple. We'll break up into teams and have 3 people. 3 teams in different areas. We'll have walkies, and there's going to be cameras watching everything. And we have motion sensor cameras that have picked up multiple full body apparitions before in the past, and strange things happening, motion when there's nobody there, and all that stuff. So essentially, I think the areas we're not in will be covered with that. We'll have video cameras on us at all times. So if anything does happen, we should be able to document it. Plus, we'll be running audio, and we'll have the thermal imager, and we'll have all that stuff. So, anyways.
And then there won't be anybody else in the hotel, so
Nope.
we'll have that. We'll know that if anything happens, it's unusual. It's not normal since there's no one else there.
Right. And what's cool is Dan is actually going to stay with us overnight. So if we have any questions or whatever, hopefully we won't bother him too late. But we can either ask him the night of, or we can show it to him the next morning again.
Dan is the owner of
Dan is the owner of the hotel. He and his wife own the hotel, Little Povs. So it would be cool to pick his brain and see, hey, has anybody else had this experience, or whatever. Because there's so many stories online and through the YouTube shows that are out there and stuff like that of people investigating this place and what they've actually picked up on. It's really interesting. Okay, so reports. I said the EVPs. A lot of people pick up EVPs, mainly of call girls.
How do they know they're call girls?
Because it was a bordello for a long period of time.
Yeah, but it could just be a woman. How do they know?
Well,
what are they saying,
again,
sexy things?
we'll get into the names, but the name Anne comes up quite a bit, and she was definitely a brothel woman. She was actually murdered in the hotel.
So a woman named Anne was why was a brothel was murdered in the hotel?
I have looked up her story, but I haven't been able to find out. I'm hoping Dan will have more information on this. But supposedly she was murdered in her room.
So that means there's records somewhere then.
I think it's either records or something's been shared. I've done research. I can't seem to find anything about her.
Okay, so supposedly then. That's a supposedly.
No,
okay,
they know that she's been killed there. Because historians have passed it down.
Okay.
So, EVPs, people get touched. Physically, touched. Things grab them out of nowhere. Dan,
I want to get that on video then.
Yeah, that's the whole idea, is to get it on video. So Dan, the owner, the first night they stayed there, they actually did a ghost hunt in the location. I think they were doing a ghost tour. And if you get a chance, go on the ghost tour with them. They're very, like I said, they're very knowledgeable, and they're really cool. I've actually seen the video of the ghost hunt, and people seem to have a great time. So, going back to what I was talking about, Dan, the first night he was there, he was sleeping next to his wife in the downstairs bedroom, one of the downstairs bedrooms, and he woke up to his hair, like somebody's physically putting their hands through his hair, and he woke up and there was a woman there, and it wasn't like she was clear or you could kind of make her out. She looked like you and me. She looked completely solid, and so just crazy. I mean, I don't know. That's the definition of a full body apparition is when you see something, something like that. I mean, she was stroking his hair. I mean, there was physical contact.
I got it. Understand.
So, other things that have happened, people have been grabbed. I don't think anybody's ever been harmed, but there's been a lot of physical contact. I know that 2 other stories. When it was an antique store, well, actually 3 other stories. When it was an antique store, there was a lady upstairs who went upstairs to look through the rooms because there was items everywhere in every single room. And she came back down and she said, thank you very much to the previous owner for helping her, having the assistant help her find what she was looking for. And the woman looked at her and said, I don't have an assistant. So she said that a lady that, she looked like she was in period clothes, just again, super solid, appeared, and out of nowhere basically, and came in and talked to her for a little while. And then when she came back down, they went back up there was nobody there.
That's interesting.
So it seems like the female apparitions that show up at this place are solid. Like they look just like us. So we're going to really have to keep an eye out for solid apparitions.
Well,
I mean,
if they're solid, we're going to see them. Well,
you never know. You might just catch a quick glimpse of them. But so yeah, we just need to make sure that we watch for that. So boot steps in the hallway, and I'll get into who they think is possibly causing this. So it's not just boot steps. When you go into the old home, where the old home is, they now have steps going up to the second story because they've added on twice to this place.
They didn't have steps going up to the second story before? How'd they get up there?
No. There's new steps. They've added on to the house. So now the original house with the two stories, they've added on to it twice.
Okay.
They put on the restaurant next to it, and then there was another whole addition where they added the stairs up to the second level and stuff like that. And then I guess they added on to the back
stairs.
too. Yeah, they have a new additional stairs leading up to the upstairs bedrooms now. So people report at night hearing what sounds like a man walking down the hallway with boot steps, but not just boot steps. They can hear his spurs cling, which is cool. So we'll definitely have a camera down that hallway for sure. And
we'll have to put some motion sensor alarms there.
Yes,
too.
we will set the motion sensor at the end of the night when nobody's moving around up there. We'll set the motion sensor at the end because the motion sensor we have, it says, "Hello, please come in," and it sounds like a little kid.
It's kind of spooky. It's effective.
It's very creepy. Instead of having the alarm go off and freak everybody out.
I think it freaks people out.
Well, yeah, the little, hello, please come in. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the little kids will like that. I don't know. Maybe the little kids will play with it. I don't know. There's several little kids that are supposed to haunt this place. We'll talk about them in just a minute. Anyways, running out of time here. Okay. So
let's talk about the kids now then.
Well, there's more reports.
Well,
at night also
investigation.
Okay, so at night also people hear women talking. They've heard disembodied voices, and that's mainly upstairs. The boot steps and the woman's talking is upstairs. The disembodied voices happen all throughout. The door handles are known to turn and jiggle and the doors are known to open and close by themselves.
Do they have the old door handles, or are they new?
They're the old door handles.
Okay.
But I mean, the handle actually physically turns.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Like squeaks around it and stuff. So, and then I talked about the a lot of people get touched while they're sleeping. Cold spots. We have data loggers now. We'll be putting those out in places where the cold spots are. We're actually testing the data loggers right now to see how they work. We're going to get a baseline tonight, and we know how hot or cold the office is. I got those a week ago or two.
Oh.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one data logger here next to the piano,
What's it do?
and another one over on the table over there. Data loggers, what it is it's a temperature gauge. So it records the temperatures
In the room?
in the room.
Oh.
So if
What's
the room,
radius from the data logger into the room? Do you know?
I'm not sure. We'll have to look into that. Like I said, these are brand new. They're new technology. We're going to try them out and see what happens. If the room for some reason gets super cold, of course we've got the thermal.
We can test it out with
We
the
have
blow
actually-
dryer.
Yeah, we have two thermal. Well, I can see it on here. So what it does is it just basically, if we're going to leave these sitting, the idea is we're going to leave it sitting. And we have two different thermal cameras. We have one that only takes pictures. We have one that's really expensive and really nice that records video and stuff like that too. And does a side-by-side so you can actually see what's going on. It has night vision camera, and then it has a regular camera as well. I mean, the thermal. So you can see the thermal and you can see the person, so you can see what's really going on. You can say, oh, that's just the dog or that's whatever. And we'll be doing gear review on that later. But the data loggers will basically tell us overall, over a long period of time, the base temperature in that room was, so let's just say 72. And then it dropped to 60 for 5 minutes. And then it went back up.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then, because it records everything. So it records over a long period of time. That's what the data loggers do. Okay. Another thing that happens when people sleep is, I think I may have told the man of this already, but so there's a report, I was reading this online. The previous owner, she was laying in bed one night, reading a book, and a woman, again, full, solid woman, was walking into the bedroom, and period close, takes the book out of her hand, sets it on the nightstand, turns off the light, and walks out and closes the door.
I find that hard to believe, to be honest with you, because someone tried to take a book out of my hand, and I don't know them. I'd probably slap them. And then I would go, what the hell are you doing in my room? Who are you?
I think there's probably more to that story. That's just what I read. It's just one of the reports. Again, these are just reports.
Yeah.
It's just kind of giving us a general
idea. I know, but you're telling me, and I'm giving
their
you
story.
my opinion.
Right. I agree with you 100%. I find, maybe she knew who it was. Maybe it looked familiar to her. Her family owned that place. Her family members owned that place for 80 years. From the 30s all the way into 2016, her family owned that place.
So maybe she expected a ghost?
Well, I'll get into the names. She has multiple relatives that died in the place. That died while working there and loved it and stuff like that. So we'll get into that. So another thing that's happened is a guy, the previous owner again, somebody went to the door and went to try and get in. The door was locked, and there was a woman basically standing there looking at him, and he kept saying, "Hey, open the door," and she wouldn't talk to him or anything. She just stood there and looked at him. And so he told the store owner about this, and he said no. She said nope, there's nobody else there. So again, it could be the same woman. She said he said she was dressed in period. Everybody reports the women being dressed in period clothes.
What period? 1800s or 1900s?
Probably early 1900s.
Okay.
Probably looking more like a saloon girl, if you will.
Okay.
All right. So let's start with the names. Let's go back to the names. This place was frequented when it was a bordello. It was frequented by very well known Texas outlaws. One was bleh. One was John Wesley Hardin.
That one I've heard of.
Yeah, he's a real famous outlaw, said to have killed at least 50 or 60 people. Doesn't sound like a very nice guy. There's Clyde Barrow, and then there's Emmanuel or Manny Clemens. And I believe if I read this right, they were all cousins. And then Bonnie Parker was the wife of Clyde Barrow. And so maybe she's seen there too, but they're definitely heard and seen in the actual hotel. And the current owner thinks that it's probably because they had saloon girls that they really were fancy for, and they really came back there all the time just to basically just enjoy being there. And then Manny Clemens, he basically was an outlaw for a long time, came back to town and basically tried to become town mayor, and the word got out that he was around, and a posse came to get him. And while he was in the saloon, basically this is 20 years after the posse was basically disbanded. He was in the saloon. I think he was in his 40s or 50s or something like that. And the posse came to get him, and essentially they shot him. He went to draw, and they shot him. So he died in the actual saloon down the way.
The saloon is attached to the hotel?
No,
or?
it's not. It's just part of the town.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we talked about Annie. She's seen in the Traveler Suite. And
Where are we staying?
There's 10 rooms upstairs. So we can choose from any of the 10. We'll ask Dan when we get there which one's the most active. And either we can stay in there or we can leave a camera in there.
Or both.
Or both. Well, if we're in there, we're going to have a camera. Everybody's going to have a camera available to them all night long. We'll have IR lights attached to it and everything, so we can clearly see if something does happen. They can turn the camera on real quick, start recording, and hopefully document whatever's going on. We'll also have the motion sensor cameras going, probably in those rooms too. But okay, so that's Danny. I'm sorry, that's Annie. We have Dennis. He's an 11-year-old little kid. He has blonde hair, and he seems to be very active in the hotel itself.
Where in the hotel?
Everywhere.
Okay.
He's just very active. There's a shadowy cowboy. They named him Cowboy. He is seen throughout the whole hotel as well. He seems to be like the spirit that's in charge. And he basically keeps other spirits in line, and you don't want to, from what I hear, you don't want to upset him. There's Benjamin. Benjamin is a 9-year-old little playful kid. He's always seen in the playroom. So I'm wondering if maybe that's a little bit more residual type activity, or if he's, we'll find out. There's Glenn. This is a man that actually is seen by the downstairs bathroom. That's where he seems to be appearing. There's what they call a little boy. He's 5. He's also seen in the playroom. Oh, by the way, there's supposedly 30 spirits that haunt this hotel.
Are you going to list all 30 of them?
25.
Really?
Well, I'm going to go through the names, yeah.
And on the podcast?
Why not? We're almost done.
Okay.
Old woman. She's also seen in the halls. Kay Seacrest. Again, previous owner. She's seen in 1800s dresses. There's the name Oscar that was caught on the EVPs. Henry was also caught on EVPs. There's a guy named Man. They named him Man. He's the former owner. And this is a spirit I think we have to watch out for. He was very protective of his work area.
Did he die in his
workshop? I don't know if he died there, but he lived there. He lived almost his whole life in the hotel. And I found out his name is actually Uncle Spike. So There's also, so these are the former owners, um, Margie and Marguerite. They are former owners.
They're not the same person?
Nope. They are also seen in the hotel, just kind of wandering around, also in period clothes. Like I said, this place has a lot of activity. I mean, it's said to be very, very active. I'm really hoping this is another Woodbine hotel where we get all kinds of crazy things that happen, and the spirits seem to really, hopefully, are intelligent. If you want to listen to our podcast about the Woodbine Hotel or go watch our show on our YouTube channel, the link's below. Go check out the Woodbine Hotel. Crazy place. Probably one of the most haunted places I've ever been to. And I've been doing this for 26 years. I've been in a lot of said to be haunted places. All right, so Jeanette, basically that's the old owner's aunt, and she was actually raised in the hotel. Helen, Gertrude, and Virginia, and Robin, again relatives, all seen in the hotel, and they all seem to appear upstairs. Marguerite, who I mentioned earlier, she's seen in the parlor and the living quarters. And then Simon, the 11-year-old, there's another kid named Simon. They think he's between 9 and 11 years old, and he dresses like a little wizard.
A wizard?
A wizard. He's in a wizard outfit.
That's weird.
He's a little kid. He likes to pretend he's a wizard.
This is starting to sound like The Shining, the movie. all the ghosts.
I don't know. There might be more ghosts here. So he creates cold spots and hot spots.
Is a movie.
And he seems to favor people with military backgrounds. So we don't know who he is. But so podcast is getting a little long. We're going to stop here in a minute. But yeah, so this is just a special podcast to talk about the hotel and talk about some of the reports. If it's anything like what I've read, we're going to get, hopefully have a lot of activity. I don't know. One thing I don't want to do is hype this place up and have nothing happen.
Which could happen.
I mean,
it's happened before.
Yeah, I mean, well, the last time this happened was down in Galveston. And the reason that happened that one night was because there wasn't any power in this location for over 10 years. And the spirits didn't really have anything to draw from, in my opinion. This hotel has had power, and they're experiencing a lot of stuff. And we also have five AM pumps, which produce energy that spirits can use to manifest in some way, whether it being, appearing on an audio recorder as an EVP, or coming through the spirit box, or showing themselves on video, or showing themselves to one of us, or whatever. But we're hoping for a good investigation. Like I said, we'll be going live from hopefully around 10 to 11 p.m. on our Facebook channel. We may actually go live again sometime later in the night on our YouTube channel. We'll keep you posted. But we wanted to get this podcast out for you guys to listen to, so you kind of have a clue of what we're doing and stuff like that. A big portion of investigating is knowing what you're doing and knowing who you're trying to communicate with. You have a much better chance if I come in and say, "Hi, Amanda, I'm Matt. I would like to talk to you." Or, that's probably going to get a response more than, "Hi, what's your name? How long have you been here? How old are you?" And stuff, and on and on and on. But if I know those things, and I'm pretty much already having a conversation with the person, I can go, "Hi, Annie, this is Matt. This is my wife Amanda," and I can introduce whoever else is with us, or maybe Dan introduces us to the spirits. And that I think we'll get better results. I've always found when you've done the research and you know your location, you have better results. So again, I'm really hoping for some good results, and we appreciate you guys listening. We're going to go ahead and stop now, but please tune in. If you're not on our Facebook page, please go down and click on the link below. If you haven't seen our YouTube videos or our shows, please click on the link. I'm guessing we're going to have a hell of a lot of video, audio, and everything else to review, and we're probably going to have one hell of a show either way. If we get stuff or not, we're going to have some stories, hopefully. So maybe we'll do another podcast after this talking about our experiences and how everything went and stuff. But
that's a good idea.
All right. So you guys have a great night, or a great morning. Hopefully we'll see you on the live show. If not, please probably try and check out our YouTube channel and catch our shows. All right. Thank you guys again for your support. We appreciate it. You have a good night.
Good night.
Help spread love and feel the joy of giving back. During the 2023 Subaru Share the Love event at Beardmore Subaru, Subaru will donate $250 to the charity of your choice for every new Subaru purchased or leased. The ASPCA, Make-A-Wish, Meals on Wheels, the National Park Foundation, the Housing Foundation of Sarpy County, or Offutt Air Force Base's Airman's Attic. Plus, we will give an additional $100 locally to help even more. Go to BeardmoreSubaru.com to learn more. Submit charity selection by 1/12/24. Promotion ends 1/2/24. See Subaru.com for more details.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.